And we are live.
Welcome one, welcome all. If you're watching on YouTube, Lauren you were being a bit of a cheerleader then. You were like pointing at me like,
it's
go on, Lee,
ponytail.
it's you.
It's the ponytail.
It's that forced enthusiasm that knocked me a little bit sick though, because it's 10 o'clock in the morning we're recording this.
Hence the coffee, not the gin.
Oh, it's very early, isn't it? My eye bags. Oh, God.
My eye bags.
Honestly, I've had a very long week, but we'll get into that. It's episode 31 of season 2.
A Fab Life.
I always feel like such a wanker when I say season 2.
Yeah,
as
but
if we were recommissioned by the powers that be.
By ourselves.
It's like, oh, God, are we going to make the 3rd season?
Fingers crossed. Do you know what? Let's do it, Lee. We can do it.
Oh,
I've got £5 in my back pocket. Let's go.
I hope so. But you know, those corporate suits in the big world of podcasting might not. They can... You never... Apparently, I'm not going to say who said this, but in TV... a household name, I will say, said this to me once.
Clang, half a clang.
Clang, he's already at it. His name fucking drop it already. And so a director once said to her, like when she was starting out, and he walked in and she said, "Oh gosh, it'll be lovely and we'll be friends," or something like that. And he said, "Darling, one thing to remember in this business. There are no friends in show business. There are only opportunities."
Savage.
And then walked
So it's
out.
a he. Okay.
He said, no. It wasn't a celebrity who said it, was a director who said it to a celebrity.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I've always remembered that. There's no friends in show business, only opportunities.
Are you going to drop me when you get famous? Are you going to drop this podcast? You're like, you're not an opportunity anymore, Lauren.
Yeah. I'll be like, Lauren who? Fab Life with who? That wasn't me.
It's Fab Life with Lee now.
So we're joined in the studio as well by a new producer. It's a different one each week.
I know. What's Mooch doing to him? That's what I want to know.
It's not good.
It's not good working environment here at Vauxhall
The
Potty.
dulcet tones of a gorgeous Irish accent.
Getting all the accents.
It's actually, I should say, it's acclaimed comedian Vittorio Angeloni.
Go on, Vittorio. Show your face. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh no, don't! He's worth way too much. We'll have to pay him now.
He's going to invoice us. He's going to invoice us for that.
So we apologise for getting you up so early. We're just as mad about it as you probably are. But we were recording this the day before, ahead of me whizzing over to Loose Women. We're back in business.
Back in show business.
Oh, yeah, those opportunities.
Fingers crossed someone on the show will give you one today.
It reminds me of like years ago, like, you know, like, because that doesn't happen anymore. Like people are like, surely someone will spot you and give you your own show. And my mum once said to me, bless her, she was like, can't you ask Ruth Langsford for a spot on this morning? I was like, yeah, I'll just go up to Ruth and go, do you mind? Can I just host
She
this
writes the
fashion
show.
bitch? Yeah, come on in. I was like, she doesn't own it.
She writes that part as well. Yeah.
I've had a very...
Come on, tell me about your week, because you've been through the ringer.
Well, that was my weekend.
Just spilled over into Monday. Go on.
Well, I feel like karma came and hit me in the face.
Did it? Because you were being a bit cocky.
I was being a bit of a cocksure wanker. I've moved to London. I'm back in London.
The Fab Life is like brewing again, isn't it? You know,
Drab life to Fab life.
It's
I'm
back, babes.
you know. And I thought I'm going back with a bang. Hence why I've been through the ringer. And so I've moved to Notting Hill. What?
I'm never going to see you again. I never go west. This is not going to be good.
I'm back to saying West is best to everyone. West is best. I'm back to saying things like, oh, south of the river. Ooh.
Did you ever live south of the river?
No, I didn't.
But you've house sat.
I have house sat. I never care about going south of the river, to be fair. I quite like south of the river.
A lot of collars up.
A lot of collars up. A lot of gays as well.
A lot of gay. Premier gays. Got a bit dollar bill girl.
Yeah, it's like Grind Alive back there.
We are currently south of the river.
Oh, shit, yeah. Your collar is down as well, Vittorio.
Oh, no.
You okay, hun?
We are currently south of the river.
But we're in like kind of ends, though. It's still up and coming, isn't it, where we are? Vauxhall, like It's still a bit rough and ready in parts.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, apart from all the buildings that are shooting up though now and Battersea Park.
Shooting up.
Oh, describe Vauxhall
That
in
will
2
be the
words.
case. So I moved in on the Sunday. So I'll tell you about the move. So we moved. Carl and Les, big shout out to Carl and Les who helped me move. He got me this van. He was like, my friend's got this kind of minibus type van.
Well, I did think, are your mum and dad expecting again? Because that's like a soccer mom car that you were posed in front of.
So he was like, I'll sort it out. It upturns. He drives up in this minibus, tinted windows, automatic doors. I'm like, this is a bit of me, Carl. Well done.
Does he know the local drug dealer in Cleveland?
I know. I was like, this is Grimsby, but I am heading to. And as I got in the car and the automatic door closed, I was like, take me to Notting Hill.
I bet your dad was like,
So we packed. It was. I was just. When you're like,
I fucking hate packing.
Well, I didn't do a massive clear out. So I just threw everything in because I ended up getting drunk the night before. I was sick the night before, and I was meant to. Yeah, I'm never sick on alcohol. And I was, but when I usually am. Well, I'm not usually, but sometimes in the morning it's not uncommon. But I was sick when I got in.
The night of.
I'd only been to my fucking neighbours.
That means you're full to like here though, doesn't it? That's what I always think when you're sick on the night. It's like I've actually drunk up to my body, like up to my neck in booze.
Yeah.
It's not good. With the Desperate Housewives of Cleethorpes.
Yes, we watched Strictly Come Dancing.
You're going to miss them, aren't you?
Indeed, but I'm sure they'll be down. They've got an excuse to come down now, even though their daughters live in London.
Well, when Lee, this is just for a bit of context, so Lee was back living in Cleethorpes and his friends you have friends from like being...
I have friends.
How old?
4.
That's so unheard
No
of,
one liked me before I was 4. I had no friends before that.
Yeah, no. He was just like mincing around his back garden.
Homophobia, but go on.
Oops, sorry. So then they all moved down to London as well, didn't they? And you were still in contact with them. And I, through you, I'm kind of friends with them. They're all fab people.
Yeah.
And then I kept seeing them all, bumping into them. Like, it was great. And I was like, oh my God, just saw Holly, just saw Kate, just saw Adam. And then you were up there drinking with their mums. So it was like we swapped.
It was great. It was great.
Quite fun.
So we moved. It was fine. The move itself was particularly easy, but I mean, Dad, bless him, driving through busy London, and it was Portobello Road on a Sunday. So I mean, thank God it wasn't the Saturday, but it was still quite busy. Anyway, so I'm all in. I'm not fully unpacked yet, and I've still got a few things to do. So then Monday comes along. I'm gigging. Where am I gigging, Lauren? Soho fucking Farmhouse.
Oh, darling. I didn't even know about this one, and I just saw you there, and I was like, oh, here he goes.
Here he goes. He's back. He's already at the bloody farmhouse. So went to Soho Farmhouse and did the gig. Lovely. Went for a swim beforehand, mincing around.
Homophobia.
Yeah. Some things never change. So it was me, a lovely comic called Jimmy McGee, who was driving.
Nice.
I was back. Clara, who's the promoter, she was in the car back with us. And Isabel Farrar, who Farrar, sorry, I forgot that wrong. But we're driving 40 minutes from London. We're all saying what a fabulous night we'd had. Soho Farmhouse. Boom. The tyre bursts.
How? You feel like that doesn't happen anymore.
I know. And it was full on, like, burst. So I'm like, what's going on? Why are we driving into the verge? And Jimmy's like, oh, fuck.
Did you have like a picanti and like takeaway cup? Like,
this doesn't happen. So then Jimmy gets out to check on.
Jimmy.
And then he was like, guys, you need to get out the car. I was like, why? It's cold. And he was like, that they recommend, because obviously if someone crashes into you, you're dead.
Yeah, you got to get out.
So we had to stand on the side of the motorway for 2 hours. So I was like, why don't we ring the RAC or the AA? And but then he'd like got his spare tyre and stuff. And you know when you're like...
Oh, all right.
I know. But then
I don't think people knew how to do that anymore.
Well, then we lost a piece. So we were all on our hands and knees through the verge trying to find this piece that we needed. I had stolen a farmhouse umbrella. Well, not stolen. It just accidentally ended up in the car.
Yeah, your membership's gone now.
It was very accidental. So I'm like stood there like, oh God.
Prodding the tyre.
And it felt like karma. So then I had...
Don't get too big for your boots.
I know. I had to call a local taxi company where we were, which was like Beaconsfield. And I was like, hi, could you come and pick us up, please? He was like, yeah, where are you? I was like, we're going to London. He was like, where are you? I was like, on a motorway. So he had to, and bless him, he came and like rescued us from the motorway.
Did you get a taxi to London?
Yeah, but Jimmy, bless him, we had to leave him on his own. He could still be out there for all
Oh my God, has anyone seen him? Has anyone seen him since?
Honestly, well, because he was like, because we stayed with him.
He's missed 2 or 3 gigs.
He's such a lovely man. And we stayed with him and he was like, guys, just get a taxi and go. Yeah. I will wait for the RAC. And then I was going, to be fair, it also means you don't have to drop us all home. You can go straight home. I was
really
like,
trying to get that silver lining.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he lives on the motorway now. So
you see a little hut on the hard shoulder, it's him.
And then he was like, I'm going to help pay for the taxi. This is all my fault. I was like, is that your fault,
lost.
Jimmy?
It's whoever sabotaged the motorway.
Yeah, so then Tuesday night comes along. I'm like knackered, got in at 2 a.m.
And you're still not unpacked properly, I'm guessing. So you're like, you got your sheets on at least?
Still, yeah, got my sheets on and everything. Good. Yeah, I'm not a monster. Jesus. Then Tuesday comes along. So I'm knackered, go to work. And we have, where am I gigging Tuesday night? The Groucho Club.
Oh, babe. Are you just ticking them all off? Are you just ticking them all off?
Victoria's like, you are the biggest wanker I've ever met. So I'm like, right, okay, Soho Farmhouse. It was, it went wrong, but we can redeem this. We can become a bigger wanker now because I'm emceeing a night at the Groucho.
If I don't see some West End stars and people from the TV in here, I'm going to leave.
My friend Kate, because I was like, oh, I'm gigging at the Groucho.
I saw Kate went.
Yeah,
shout out to Kate.
Yeah, she went. I'm gigging at the Groucho, and she was like, oh my God, and I said, and part of the fee is 6 months honorary free membership. So she goes, oh my God, that's amazing. She was like, what do you get with that? Like free steak or stuff? And I was like, no, not the Groucho. She thought it was the restaurant.
She thought it was like a Groucho black card.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't even know they did membership for steak restaurants. So I'm there, had a fantastic night there, really fun.
What did you steal from there?
People's hearts.
Oh, really good.
I did really actually. I've got a little bit of beer fear actually because there was this 25-year-old there who I was just basically being Kevin Spacey too, which I know I wasn't doing that. No, I wasn't. Oh God.
Oh God.
And now I'm producing your podcast.
He's here with us today.
You work quickly. There's opportunities coming for you, Victoria. Let me tell you.
So anyway, I was just like being a flirty gay. Like I was like, you're so handsome.
Who was it? What did you do?
It was called.
Was he a waiter?
No. He actually worked for my agent, which is even worse. Oh God, he was called Fergus. I think that's why I fancied him.
I fancy a name. It's fun to date people with weird names.
And I was like, how do you get your hair so thick, Fergus? And he was like, and then I was like, how old are you? And
I'm 25.
I was like, yeah, that's how. Anyway, so then I get pissed at the Groucho because it's free bar. Yeah. And I'm like, oh guys, I'm heading back now. I'm going to get the last tube from Tottenham Court Road. It's only like 4 stops to Notting Hill Gate. What did I do? I fucking fell asleep on the tube and ended up on Ealing Broadway.
That's so far.
So far.
How did you even
And I woke up and there was a guy going, mate, wake up. And it was the last tube. So I was like, where am I? Is this Notting Hill Gate? It doesn't smell of Portobello Road.
It doesn't smell of antiques.
No, fucking Ealing Broadway. So I had to get a taxi back to Portobello fucking Road. I can't do any more wanker gigs. If that was the Groucho, I would have been fine, but it was the Groucho.
And you would have been full of steak, so you wouldn't have got us pissed.
I would have, exactly. So...
Oh, God, that's what you do in your 20s. Fergus would have done that, not you.
Oh, Fergus.
My friend Chantel did it. I think I might have said this on the pod before because it fucking makes me laugh so much. She was going from Camden to Old Street when we lived on the Northern Line, which is less stops. I think it's 2 or 3 stops.
Yeah.
She got off in Morden.
Oh, no.
And
Morden sounds like how you would feel when you're like, oh, Morden.
And she came out and she was like, is there another one? And they were like, no, love. And it was before Uber. So she had to wait for a black cab.
I thought you said it was before Ruber. I was like, Ruber's not a tube stop.
Remember Ruber? Yeah. And she had to pay for a taxi back. And she was only 25 at the time, so she was skint. She was like, I spent like about 50 quid on that
awful.
tube.
It's hideous.
It's the worst. So many people have done that. Or on the bus. I had an ex who went all the way out of London, came all the way back in on the same bus because they don't wake you up because it's a night bus.
Yeah.
And all the way back, and that's when he woke up when he was out.
Oh, God, if only he'd stayed
at the bus station, yeah.
The bus station.
And then he had to find another. I know. Awful. Well, you've done that, so you won't do it again.
I've done that, yeah. So I had a...
Can you fall asleep?
I know. I was like, it's a few stops.
So short stops.
It's so short. It was like 8 minutes or something. Like, I'm still baffled by it. I was so annoyed. Oh. Anywho, we're fine.
You're back on track now.
I'm back on track. I'm doing bubbles and bingo again.
Oh
Do you
my God,
remember?
I saw that.
On Saturday. And
How often are you going to do that? Do you know?
It's every couple of weeks during the winter. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm hosting a raucous bingo in Bexley Heath.
The glamorous Bexley Heath.
Bexley Heath farmhouse. And then guess what I'm doing Saturday? Sorry, I also realised I've definitely talked for most of this, so I need to ask, how are you? No,
I've got to go. My producer's waiting.
That's all we've got time for. Come on, Fergus. I'm going to watch Strictly on Saturday to cheer on Kay.
Have you got one of her tickets? I don't know why I keep pointing at you today.
Well, I might have had a contact that I just... So Nadia was like, why don't you come with us? Because her and Jane are going to watch. And I was like, let me just text one of the production managers and see. So I was like, I know this might be impossible.
Opportunities.
Blah, 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 blah. And he was like, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's an opportunity. So
not a friend.
He's popped me on there. So I'm going to be going and cheering her on.
Oh, my God, I love that. Loads of people said, Kay, I did a reach out on the Insta.
No wonder our views have gone up.
No, yeah. No wonder our listeners were doubled this week.
If anyone else would like Lauren to do a reach out to...
Go on my personal profile. It's Dolly Deep in Up. I've had a load on that as well because there's a video of me...
I can imagine you have.
There's a video of me taking my top off that my friend showed show the top.
Oh,
and
right.
all of a sudden, do
you get your tits out?
No, it's just a bra.
Oh, right.
I look like a Barbie though because it's like a nude bra. So it's like,
Oh, right.
No nipples. That's when you get all the followers because she's done it to show the stretchy top.
Yeah, I posted a bit of a thirsty pic on.
Oh, you are so thirsty right now. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, I nearly commented going, put it away.
Oh my
We've
God.
seen it before. We saw it last week.
I know. One of the cameramen at Loose Women was like, oh yeah, you're busy with your gigs, aren't you, mate? And taking your top off on Instagram. And I was like, listen, we've got to do what we got to do.
Sometimes
we've got to give the gays what they want.
Yeah, and that's how you.
Because they don't want funny.
No, they don't want you. They're like, shh,
yeah,
take your top.
Yeah. Anyway, I said I was going to say to you, I was on the way here, and my friend did something very lovely, which they didn't need to do, and I text them saying, "You are very naughty for doing that."
Yeah.
And after I text it made me feel physically ill, and it made me realise...
It made me feel a bit weird.
It made me realise I hate the word naughty.
Oh, you're naughty.
Oh!
I know what you mean.
It's like... So if you say, a kid is being naughty, that's okay.
Different context.
In the context.
Yeah.
But I was like, you're very naughty for doing that. Thank you so much, but it's naughty. And then I was like, reading it back, and I was like... Ugh. Don't you hate the word naughty?
That's like a pervy old man would use that word.
Yeah. Oh, you've been so naughty.
It's after
it's
the
what I was saying to Fergus.
Yeah, I was going to say. You're just still in that headspace
naughty
after Tuesday.
Fergus.
Naughty Fergus. Oh, I will have another gin. Thank you.
Poor Fergus.
Oh, naughty. Did it give you the ick?
It gave myself the ick.
When you look back, sometimes, do you ever look back at your old Instagram posts and like the tagline you put underneath it? Sometimes I'm like, what was I on? Like, what was I actually on saying that? Like, you know, it'd be like, Happy Monday, you know.
Yeah. No,
I'm like, who was I? That's not my voice.
There's a guy I know who he posts like pun captions all the time. No, they're too much. And if he listens,
like
I'm not bothered if he listens, because I text him.
He doesn't need another friend.
Individually saying this is the worst caption I've ever seen. Like I need to find a few. Like he'll post himself. No, you don't know him. He'll post himself, like, for example, on rocks, and it'll be like bouldering and smouldering or stuff like that. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's one I've just made up. But
it's better than his.
Like, he's posted one in Iceland. You certainly did the trick, Reykjavik. And it's just like, and I mean, that's not too bad.
Does he write the bank adverts? You know, they
like here's one of him in Paris.
Horrible, them out there.
Here's one in Paris. I've fallen in Louvre with Paris,
no.
and then just like you're fucking, and I'll text him and like here's one of him wearing a green shirt. They're all wearing green. Me and the Queens dressed in green. Like
he did. He wrote the bank adverts.
He
writes Halifax those horrible poems on the bank adverts, and it's like, I can't even do one now, but they're so shit. They're like, I couldn't pay my mortgage, and that's a terrible word to try and rhyme with, isn't it? Mortgage. What rhymes with mortgage?
We'll wait.
Couldn't pay my mortgage. Then I got the rage. No, see, that was really bad.
Mortgage, fridge. Couldn't pay my mortgage. Had to sell my
forage.
My door fridge. Let's move on.
We'll move on. Anyway, that's what it sounds like, those Halifax adverts.
Really?
I have to mute them. And they're all really silent. It's that woman on the beach as well. She's like, and then I realised, like, it wasn't just me. And her friends are like, They're just awful. Have you not seen them? No. And they're always really silent at the end for like 30 seconds. And you're like, what's going on?
Hey, you'd pay a lot of money for that 30 seconds as well. Ads are expensive.
Halifax. God. I feel like we're on morning radio today.
Really?
Because it even sounds different because there's no partying downstairs and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And our voices are slightly croaky, aren't they?
I know. We didn't do our vocal warm-ups. God, we rushed here.
I walked into Starbucks just as we arrived and was like, who starts work at 9:45? I was like, sorry, guys, I've just come from Notting Hill.
Every so often, if you're in at 10 a.m., there is still a party going on from the night before.
I was going to say Fire is famous for people leaving with the tops off, even in the wintertime.
It's just because it's Freshers Week, so it's a bit tamer.
Is it Freshers
really?
Week?
Yeah, it's Freshers Week.
Is it? Oh, it feels late to be Freshers Week. I remember Freshers Week. I've probably still got the vouchers for Domino's Pizza.
Have you?
That I collected at Freshers Fair.
No way.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still valid. Pizza party.
Probably, yeah.
I didn't really have a Freshers.
Didn't
Well,
you?
they did. They tried to do it because...
But you were drama school.
Theatre school. And
they're like, waste no time, tap and give me 20. A 5, 6, 7, and...
If you're not stretching and eating a cucumber and that's it all day.
Wasn't there a dance school that like weighed people and they had to chant fat dancers don't get work?
No. It clearly wasn't me.
Yeah, they had to chant like fat dancers don't get work, fat dancers, and then they were like, right, 4-part harmony, fat dancers don't work.
Like, I can't hear the altos.
It's now a musical. Yeah, Lane's,
no, it wasn't.
Apparently,
allegedly.
I was
going to say, was it Lane's?
Yeah.
Or the Royal Ballet.
Maybe.
Oh, God. No, they didn't do that at ours. But there was a lot of eating disorders. Just like underlying. But you're like, she's got to eat. People who buy a bag of sweets and then you don't see them eat anything else that day and they're like, do you want one?
Oh, right. And cigarettes and what's the model diet? Apples and cigarettes.
Apples and cigs, yeah. Apparently so.
Oh.
We'd just come through that when I was at uni, that like 90s model thing, but it was still overhanging of like, we want, our ballet teacher used to say, we want baguettes, not a bread roll.
Oh. We want baguettes, not a bread
So like
roll.
that was to like get your posture,
the posture, right.
But
right.
so, and then I remember she came up to me once. She was like, "No mince pies for you this Christmas break."
No mince pies for you. You look.
I know. I had the flattest fucking stomach as well. Honestly, I had like a 6-pack.
We want baguette. Was she like, oh, you tiger loaf at the back?
Crusty cob, and you and all. Brioche, there's no hope for you, love.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You may as well end it now.
Aren't drama schools like
They're
just...
fucking awful when you realise it. Well, I've told you this, haven't I? Maybe I've said this on the pod before. Oh God, it really makes me laugh now. But at the time I was mortified. And I got called in by, we all were having one-to-ones with our head of year in 3rd year. I won't say the name of the person because they're like revered in the industry. Revered, yeah. So all of our head of year, like I was in the jazz company, which is like all dance, like musical theatre. And then there was like the musical theatre. And the head of each company was someone in the industry. So she loved me because she thought I was Doris Day because I like looked different to everyone else and stuff. And I just made her laugh most of the time. I was just like distracted her by, flirting with her basically. And then she went, yeah, so over the summer break, I want you to work on your, whatever she said, summit. And then she was like, also, now I was a big girl once. She said that's how she started the conversation. She was like, so I understand what it's like, but I have every faith you'll come through it, like as in like you'll lose a bit of weight. I was a size 8.
You oh my God,
I was a
it's so
size 8.
bad.
But because I've always been curvy, so I had like a chunky bum and thighs, whatever. Honestly, and I was just like, oh, and I was like, and I was like, am I wearing the wrong size clothes? I was like, this is so weird, like maybe I'm a 12, and like, not that that's fat either. Anyway, I went home to my housemate Ed, and I went, Ed, you're not going to believe this. And he was like, what? And he went, she told me she was a big girl once as well. And he died laughing. He instantly just was like, bah! He was like, oh my God. And I was like, no. And he was like, you're not joking.
It's worse because you'd rather her say, you need to lose a bit of weight, rather than like, listen, now we've all been a bit fat before. Okay, I know
we all
how
like
it feels.
the old frappes.
The worst is when they're insulting you with kindness.
I know.
It's like, oh, you're trying to be
It was more
nice.
confusing than anything. I was like, eh?
But that's the thing at like drama schools. It's like my girlfriend went to drama school, and it feels like if you possess breasts, they're like you're fat.
Well, yeah. Hey, over here,
they're
it's all
just
about
like,
the boob.
Yeah, it's such a.
You'll
weird
never get in
place.
that costume. That's what it always is. You've got to fit the last girl's costume. Whether it's still like that, we'll never know.
I was quite annoying. Well, not annoying, but I was.
Were you that one that like, I'll do it.
I became student rep. So
yeah, you did.
So, but by accident. Basically,
no one else wanted to do it.
No, there were 2 student reps, and I was annoyed because I went to Salford University, which is basically like fucking. Well, it was like
the last uni in Manchester.
It was basically the uni. It's where people went to if they didn't get into drama school, and
so everyone's trying really fucking hard.
So, but then it was a weird mix of like really good people, and then there was like a mix of shit people that they just filled the spaces with. There was no in between.
Yeah.
And so, and you know what it's like when you're, a young performer. If they're shit, you don't like them. But like,
yeah, you're like, why are you here? You're wasting my time. Like, you're shit.
It's really
I know
snobby.
what you mean.
Like, like, oh, you're shit. Like, we went.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, then I was like, there's not enough we're doing here. Drama schools do it every day. We're only doing this. So I like campaigned for extra classes.
Oh my God.
So I got that as like singing
Everyone fucking
classes.
hated you.
No, because it was
He's asking the teacher for homework.
I was like, guys, I've got us all dissertations to do this week.
10,000 words by Monday, right?
No, but it was like dance classes and singing lessons and
Yeah.
stuff. And that's what people wanted to do. So
Jack
then
of
they
all
were like,
trades.
Lee, we want you to be student rep. And the other 2, I was like, listen, girls, if you can't handle this. I mean, they did. I was like, anyway, then the university then paid me.
Kicked them out.
Paid me to be a student rep for all of the university. I got paid to do it. And you know what I ended up having to do? I ended up having to sit on
The board of
boards.
directors.
No, on so when students were being like disciplined and potentially were going to be kicked off
That is not right.
No.
I did that.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I was SU vice president, so you had to sit and like your mate would come in who'd like fucked it.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Do you think they should be expelled?" I'm like, "No."
No.
You'd be like, yeah, actually, I fucking hate you.
Exactly.
Remember, guys, opportunity's not friends, yeah?
But, I'm not good with power either. So I was like, So
Did you bring a gavel to
it
every
was-
meeting? Meeting adjourned.
They were like, "Thanks for coming, Lee. You can take the wig off." Sorry, Your Honour.
Just call me Jane.
But no, and I remember there was a teacher, there had to be a student rep, and it had to be fair. But there was one time where this teacher wanted this girl out, wanted her out, and it actually meant that she would be deported.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Was the teacher a racist?
So yeah, well, I don't know, but he was
Brexit means Brexit, guys.
and he wanted her out. He had something against her, and she would be deported. She would lose her livelihood for it. So I was like, out. No, I wasn't. So I did this rousing speech, like Elle Woods.
Yeah.
In Legally Blonde.
God.
I just felt like, and I ended up saying because he was like, we have to follow the rules. We have to follow the rules. And I was like, listen, guys, I'm not comfortable with someone being deported back to because she was a foreign
Could
student.
they not defer or something?
Well, basically what they did is they were like, if we fail her on this module, which they were going to do, they were going to give her an automatic fail. It meant she would fail the whole course or whatever, which meant she would lose any funding and she would have to go back home. And I was just like not okay with that. And I always think of that girl.
Oh my
and
God.
that girl grew up to be Oprah.
Oh my God. Thanks to you, Lee.
So
I was like, who's he going to say here?
So, I'm not. Anyway, I was
God.
student rep. So,
Oh, babe.
but
so
I was
proud
also a
of you.
bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
I think I've told the story before where the people on HND course were like, and I was on
What's
degree.
HND?
And I went, what's HND? What's that stand for? Has no degree.
It really needs to change that, don't they? You little bitch.
And that was like the first week. And I just was like, guys, it's funny, okay? Learn to take a fucking joke. Anyway,
God,
those days are
love you.
behind us.
They're behind us, babe.
How did we get onto that? Freshers.
Freshers. God, that was right.
That's when I
timed, wasn't it?
accidentally ended up at a foam party.
Oh,
I didn't
never.
know.
Did you have chlamydia after?
I didn't know. Still have. No, I remember being stood in front of this fan, an actual
Because you were like,
big
oh,
fan.
it wasn't like Fergus. Like, hi, Lee, I love
Of course,
you.
it wasn't Fergus. He wasn't born. And all of a sudden, I heard them go, "Anyone want some foam?" or something like that.
And you were there cooling down.
And I was like, what's he saying? I can't hear. And the fan just started whizzing around. And I looked at it like a magic eye puzzle. I was like, what's going on? Just blew foam right in front of my face. It was disgusting.
Oh my
never
God.
again. I don't even know if they're a thing anymore, foam parties, are they?
Probably abroad, probably on holiday.
I feel like that won't have survived COVID. The
No,
foam
that's for
party.
sure.
No,
Or pool
yeah.
parties. There was a couple of them pools in Aquarium in Old Street, and everyone would be like, "Oh, should we go Aquarium?" I was like, "I'm not getting in a pool at 3 a.m.
Go aquarium.
Go to Aquarium." I just said it. My northern. Go Aquarium. It wasn't
Lee,
like
that
go
was-
ape.
That was willful ignorance on your part. It's so obvious what she meant. It's like,
He's
sorry,
such
I
a
live in
bitch.
Notting Hill now.
I know, yeah. West isn't fucking best, mate.
Sorry, I think you've forgotten some prepositions there, Lauren.
Preposition. I'm from Haydock. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I'm such a wanker.
Oh, you are. It's a good job. I love you. Well, opportunity's not friends, you know.
Well, that's it. That's
Oh,
31.
fucking hell.
What a week.
What
So
a bloody week.
hopefully next week we were going to talk about fashion faux pas today, weren't we? But fuck
Basically,
it.
Kanye West wore socks with sandals.
No, flip-flops.
Oh.
Sandals, I don't mind so much.
I don't. It's all about that slider lifestyle these days. Flip-flops, there's no excuse for that.
No, it's just
He's lost his.
and
He's lost
you
it
can
though.
see
hasn't
his little toe
What could you
creeping
see?
out the Just get that on the camera. Creeping out.
he? Minging.
Naughty.
Oh.
All right, well, thanks for Victoria.
Victoria.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been such a lull, hasn't it, eh?
Yeah. Not bad for 10 a.m.
Not bad. It's
Bad.
woke us right up, hasn't
That
it?
must have been strong, that coffee.
I have to go and entertain the...
Entertain. You might not have your mojo because you've used it all here.
Well, I'm very excited, actually, because guess who's on the show today?
Who?
Sam Ryder. We're up in space now.
Also, isn't he like the nicest person ever?
He
Apparently.
seems like it, and he looks like Rapunzel with his long hair.
Get a selfie with him.
It's
You
always a
don't
bit-
like doing that, do you?
Yeah,
It's a bit funny.
I end up getting selfies with like the Love Island stars or something like
Yeah.
that when they're first out. 'Cause I'm like, oh my god, it's Love Island. But if they're like quite big, I'm like, I'll leave them alone.
He'll do it because he's nice, I feel
Yeah.
like. Oh. Well, Liverpool or Glasgow, that's where Eurovision's going to be held. So he'll be talking about that. So let us know his verdict, or I'll just watch Lee swimming and find out from him myself.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll quiz him on that. All right, well, it's been episode 31 of Fab Life.
With Lauren and Lee.